Well, our top focus will go on right now. US forces launched a new wave of airstrikes hitting targets across Yemen. Houthi media reported that the airstrikes hit key locations in the capital as well as several Houthi-controlled areas in the country's northwest. Fresh smoke could be seen rising on early morning Friday in capital Sanaa. Casualties resulting from the strike still remain unclear. Well, the new wave comes a day after 19 attacks across multiple locations, including military sites and strategic positions. In the south, Jarban was also hit 8 times. To the north, 5 strikes targeted the Bani Hashish district. The Dalmi Air Base, a key Houthi military site, was also bombed. No casualties have been confirmed so far. US President Donald Trump has claimed that the Houthis want peace because they, and I'm quoting here, getting the hell knocked out of them. But Houthi forces say they are still hitting back, targeting US warships in the Red Sea and unleashing a drone attack on Tel Aviv. However, that attack on Tel Aviv has not been confirmed by Israel yet. Meanwhile, in the strikes in Sada and Amran, Houthi media reported damage to an under-construction hospital. The US began its offensive against the Houthis on 15th of March. Washington has signaled that the military operations will continue till the threat is neutralized. And while US continues to strike Yemen-based and Iran-backed Houthis for the 12th consecutive day, this also comes after US President Donald Trump warned Iran that any attack against the US by the Houthis would rather be taken as an attack by Iran towards the US. And in the latest, US has struck dozens of Houthi targets in Yemen. It says 17 airstrikes hit targets in Yemen, including in Sanaa, where at least 7 people were injured. And well, for more on this, we are now being joined by Yusuf Mawari, who is a journalist from Sanaa. Welcome to WION, Mr. Mawari.
Hey, how are you?
Right, hi. First up, there are reports of massive damage caused by US bombings in Yemen over the last several days now. The airstrikes between US and Yemen-backed Houthis have now entered its 12th consecutive day. How long do you see this continuing as of now? And perhaps do you see that the Houthis eventually will cave in amid all this devastation caused by the US?
On the contrary, I think if anything, if history has taught us anything, it's that the Ansar Allah Houthis are going to continue their attacks. They're going to step up their attacks. And actually, according to history, it will be the US who's going to give up. It will be the US who will no longer bomb Yemen, because bombing Yemen and killing innocent civilians is just simply not going to achieve any of their military tasks. This is simply an attack against residential areas. It is residential areas that are being targeted. It is innocent people who are being killed. So when the US says, or US officials say, that they are targeting Ansar Allah Houthi sites, it's simply a lie, because all the footage that you see is residential areas being targeted. You see the footage of children being rushed to the hospitals in the northern province of Sa'da, all across Yemen. But if you want to talk about military games and the art of war, then I would say that history has taught us that there's no better masters of the art of war than that of the Yemeni people and that of the Ansar Allah Houthi movement. I say this as this is something that has been proven throughout history. This is a group that has never lost a battle. They've never lost a war since their inception, since 2004 when they first started, all the way in the northern province of Sa'da. US, Saudi Arabia, along with the previous backed US Yemeni government, they waged war against this movement when it was just consistent of 2,000 to 3,000 group members. They were still unable to defeat them despite dropping all types of bombs, attacking them with all types of US manufactured weapons. They still were not able to defeat them. So I doubt that the Ansar Allah Houthis will lose now when they have not just millions of supporters from within Yemen, but millions of supporters across the Muslim world and even across the entire globe. In fact, today there was a demonstration here in the capital, Sanaa. You had a lot of Americans and people from Europe and activists from different parts of the world. Even Nelson Mandela's son, he was here in the capital, Sanaa, standing with the Yemeni people, because the Yemeni people and this movement is standing for the Palestinian cause. It's standing against the oppression that's being perpetrated, as they view, by the Israeli regime.
All right. All right, Mr. Mewari, you speak of how the Houthis will not stop. I have a two-point question. First up, do you think Houthis want peace at this point of time, as there is gradual progress towards a ceasefire in Gaza? And apart from that, you also mentioned that the US airstrikes are targeting civilians in Yemen. But I also want to bring your attention to the fact that the Houthis have been continuously targeting shipping lanes in the Gulf of Aden, with the ships of Israel and the US. What are your comments on that?
Yes, so the Ansar Allah Houthis, the group's name is the Ansar Allah movement. This is a group that's targeting Israeli-linked ships in the Red Sea. They're targeting, not just in the Red Sea, they're targeting in the Gulf of Aden, in the Arabian Sea, even, as you mentioned, even in the Indian Ocean. Yes, they are indeed targeting these ships, but they are only targeting ships that are linked to Israel. They are targeting ships that have links with companies who do business with Israel, with Israeli entities. So this is I would say this is sort of a fabrication or propaganda that's being spewed out there, that that the Houthis, the Ansar Allah movement, is attacking all ships, any ship that crosses Bab el-Mandeb, any ship that crosses through to the Red Sea. Those ships are not being attacked. The only ships that are being attacked, as I mentioned, are those who have done business with the Israeli regime. And this is being enacted as a measure to force Israel, to pressure Israel to stop the genocide that they are committing against the Palestinian people. This is according to the Ansar Allah officials. This is according to Houthi officials. This is according to government officials here in Yemen. The only way that they will stop these military operations against Israeli-linked ships is if Israel ends the genocide once and for all. If the genocide is going to continue, ships linked to Israel are not going to be allowed to pass through Bab el-Mandeb. The U.S. is saying that, under Trump is claiming that the Ansar Allah Houthis are attacking all ships, are attacking international maritime. Well, that's not true. Ask Russian ships, are they allowed to go by? Ask Indian ships, are they allowed to go by Bab el-Mandeb? Yes, they are. And China, ships from China, shipments from all across the world are allowed to cross Bab el-Mandeb, except those that have links to Israel.
Right, Mr. Mewari, but we have reports of the Houthis targeting US and Israeli ships at this point of time. But thanks very much for joining us and sharing your insights.